Today is October 26, 2010. The time is 1:45 in the afternoon. Well, despite asking them not to use herbicides next to my property, they did. I've never used herbicides or pesticides. I do everything by hand, the good old-fashioned way. But apparently the last couple of days, an individual who may or may not be licensed to use herbicides sprayed this entire area. Possibly even the same exact individual I told him to stay off my land with his herbicides. This piece right here legally is under contest because when I bought, it was with the intention to buy everything to the left of the creek. Unfortunately, there was more land here than what the owner originally thought. So now, that's a legal question. Bottom line is, for many, many years, there's been no pesticides or herbicides used on this land, and now the smell of death is all around you. What they're doing up here is going to be accelerated erosion. They're planting this after they cut down the forest with the intention now to cover up a crime of cutting the forest. Now they can say they were farming it. Unfortunately, by digging this fresh earth without the protection of the forest, what you're going to have is faster erosion than even leaving it alone. On top of that, they've sprayed it with herbicides to make darn sure that the plants can't network their roots and hold this hill. It just gets better and better. I'm going to go check on my water because last I checked, I have the right to check my water. They've even dug holes in the trail. The creek is completely blocked up. The hillside is dying. And accelerated erosion has been set up. These are malimbre, which are a plant that requires lots of water. And this is all evidence of being sprayed with herbicides. Up the mountain, same story. Even on top of this rock, incredible stupidity. There's evidence of water running through here, see? They've sprayed all around my tanks. My water tanks are sprayed with herbicides, endangering me and my family. All this is dying, it's dry. Plants that normally were really green here are now dying and dead, and they're death throes. The destruction is really a horrid sight. There is a way to reach some balance, but they're not looking for balance, they're looking for control. The top of this rock had some very interesting native plants that have been poisoned. They've been poisoned on top of the rock. That's very interesting. I guess they plan on planting on top of the rock too. You can see the devastation, how the creek has been filled in with the forest. And there's more destruction on the other side too. Yep, this is pretty much arrogance and stupidity. I have to be careful because the hunter could become the hunted. This is a secret that nobody wants to get out. Unfortunately, if you have a helicopter and you flew over this area, you're going to see what I'm seeing. The secret's out. They're continuing to cut. Although you see trees there, they're continuing to cut and poison into the woods. Those trees have been left. Now let's take a peek at the riparian corridor. You notice poison had been used all around in here. All these rocks were normally covered by jungle are now exposed. It's just a magnificent sight of destruction. These trees are laying into the creek, this is the primary water system, and the rocks are laying up into it. The DNR agents that were here on the 20th, October the 20th, they didn't even come up here and take a look at this. They weren't interested. They weren't here for that. They were here to rubber stamp the project. Right now there's no water running, but that's not a surprise, since the more of this they cut, the quicker the water evaporates and dries up. This area could run with water a lot longer, but it won't. As they continue to cut up the mountain, more and more sunlight gets in here, and less water will stay above ground and will go subterranean. Right now, you could probably light a match and set this creek on fire. There's so much dead, dry debris. Way up on the mountain, I can see they've been logging above. Way up there. Clearing the forest, clearing the forest. They don't know how to stop and take a look at what they've done already. Last week, I videotaped this, full of water. Now there's still just a little tiny bit of water flowing and disappearing. If they're doing what I think they're doing, right now this water, which is our spring that we drink from too, is probably toxic, depending on the type of herbicide they use or pesticides they're using to kill the forest above. This is uncontrolled, unpermitted, unlicensed, unplanned. Look at that water. It's so clear you can't even tell it's there. I have to throw something in it so you can see that it's actually there. See that? Why would anybody want to poison this? It doesn't make sense. This is the life's blood of Puerto Rico. Without it, we all perish. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to throw that rock one more time so you can see. Water's crystal clear here. And it won't stay that way for long. The more activity above, the more likely this is going to be like a wonderful dream when you wake up to no longer exist. It's Randy Dixon, Rivera. I have a broken heart.